Hello and welcome to episode 83 of Draft Offsides. I'm with Tico Renzo. My name is Keefe, and we are covering Game Week 31 and looking ahead to Game Week 32. We are getting down to crunch time. Game Week 32, that means what? There's 6 games left? No, 7 games left, right?
7 games left.
7 games left. Wow. 7 matches left.
7 big matches left, I'll be honest.
Yeah. It's all. Hopefully your leagues are tight. Our leagues are both tight, so we're all sweating. We're all sweating over here.
Yeah, it's not nice. I'd rather be comfortably in the lead.
So let's get into some of the key games we can talk about. We're not going to cover all of them, just a few, and then we can look ahead to some stuff. So first game, Fulham 3, Liverpool 2. This was a pretty exciting game. I think Fulham ended up going up 3-1 in this game before Liverpool pulled one back.
Yeah, Fulham look good, man. That team looks good. They play really well. Honestly, they outplayed Liverpool this game.
Yeah, they deserve to win for sure.
And they love to steal from the rich, and why not steal from the very richest of them all?
Yeah, Robin Hood strikes again.
Yep.
Iwobi back in the starting lineup, 25.25 points. Wow, goal and an assist.
Let's go, baby. Obi-Wan.
He needed that little rest, huh?
Yes, he did. He was tired.
We were talking about Muniz last week and just saying, even though he'd been scoring and doing well, they'd all been off the bench. And so what do? Do you pick him up? And sure enough, he started this game and he got a goal.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is that? I don't know. Does that interest you guys now?
It does, because it's the end of the season. Is he going to get another start next game? If he does, then he might, and he scores again, he might be a shoo-in.
That's 3 games in a row. And also, if you guys remember last year when Muniz became the starter when Jimenez went down, he had a stretch where he was super hot for 5-6 games.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So this might be the heat waves. You want to catch it while it's there. Who are they playing next? So if they have a favorable matchup, I would start him. Bournemouth.
Bournemouth's been on a bad run too.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think the one thing to keep in mind is that I still think Jimenez is the starter. I know Muniz is on a good run, but I think Jimenez has done enough to be the starter there, and it was just a matter of the fact that they had played 3 days before, and Jimenez is 31, 32, so they probably needed to give him a rest. So as I agree about this hotness and stuff, I just don't know if I trust that he's going to start in 5 days from now.
Let's see.
6
We
days
never
from
know.
now. Because that game's on Saturday. That game's on Monday, April 14th. So they almost have a whole week.
A week's
rest.
Yeah.
Let's see. I never know.
Yeah. But the other one. This is the one that's the most interesting to me is Sessegnon. Right, Sessegnon. He had come off the bench and looked really good the last few weeks as well, and then he got a start as well, and he got 15 points. He's owned in 2% of leagues, which is virtually nobody owns him. The thing that's fascinating to me is that he's classified as a defender, and we've always seen him as a defender in the past, but he was playing as a right winger or a left winger.
Mm-hmm.
So
and they've done that before with him when he was at Fulham. So
yeah,
it's not unheard of for him, at least. Not there.
but that's like a fantasy manager's dream.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, it's absolutely just juicy.
Juicy.
So that's something to keep an eye on. But that's one where I think the risk is worth the reward. Like the same way with Muniz, even if Sessegnon doesn't start, you're like, oh well. And if you have the bench spot, a free bench spot, pick him up, because if he does start, you're easy.
Yeah.
Easily put
some good points right there.
Yeah. McAllister scored a screamer, 17.25 points, and then Diaz got one back to make it 3-2, 15.5 points. My guy. This is another genius move by me, right?
How do you do it? How do you do it? Tico?
I could understand why you're asking for my advice being in first place. Well, he's a Trojan horse, man. He's going to have a run of the rest of the year. He's going to average 2 points. Just watch.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he's been hot since I've had him.
That sounds really ooh.
Yeah.
I just put in words.
Are you rooting against a man whose father was kidnapped?
I'm actually working on getting him kidnapped again. I made the call.
I'm sure you know people.
All right, next game. Spurs 3, Southampton 1. Southampton is officially relegated, and they have a chance. They're the earliest team to ever be relegated. So with 7 games left.
God.
They have a chance to be the worst team in Premier League history if they don't get at least 1 point from these 7 games.
Who was it that got relegated last year that they were saying was the worst team ever?
No, it wasn't. It was that Derby team from a few years ago. That was the worst team ever.
Yeah. Oh, look at him.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't
Or
even-
they scored or they had like the most goals scored
yeah,
against
the
them.
most goals conceded or something. Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a
It was
record last year
Sheffield
too.
United. I think
Sheffield.
it's
Yeah.
Sheffield United. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brennan Johnson with 35 points in a brace. Tottenham looked decent. It was Southampton. I mean, you can't even really count it.
You
as
don't
much.
look into it.
The most alarming part was that they managed to score a goal.
Yep.
And that made my matchup with Tico very tight, even though Tico did end up winning in the end. But Tico was cursing the gods when that goal went in.
In the end zone.
And
Yeah.
Understand.
Tel got his first goal off a penalty. I don't know. That's a weird one with not giving Johnson his hat trick. That was the question. Or do you give it to the guy to get his first goal?
Well, you could see Johnson going, I got 2.
Oh, did he
Me.
say-
Yeah, you could saw it. And then Tell's like, no, I'm going to take
Really?
it. So he fucking took it. And don't get me wrong, he scored, but I think Johnson should have been allowed to have it and get his hat trick. But
How does Telmore have pulled in Johnson? Tel's like a 19-year-old on loan.
I don't know. Someone had to make the call. I don't know. Probably Big Andrew's been making a lot of bad decisions. Anyway.
Oh, man.
It
Next
was
up.
also a close
sorry, go
game.
ahead.
They had to make sure they score on that one.
Shit.
Next up, United 0, City 0. Pretty lackluster game.
Dude, did any of you watch it?
I mean, I tried to watch it. I kept looking at my phone. I kept realizing I was just staring at my Instagram or something.
It was so horrible.
Yeah, it was boring.
They both looked like they were playing for a draw. But honestly, if you look at both sides defenders scored well, though, if you really look at it, right?
Yeah,
Both-
clean sheets. Everyone got
Clean
clean
sheets.
sheets.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bruno had like 10+ points.
It was just lackluster.
Yeah, seemed like they were both kind of happy to just not lose.
The only big thing from this is finding out KDB's retiring at the end of the season, and he's going to get a statue.
Not retiring.
I don't know if he's going to get a
Transferring.
statue.
No, sorry, leaving. Sorry, retiring,
Yeah.
leaving Man City.
Is he really going to get a statue, though?
Yeah, they're putting a
yeah.
statue out there. He's got 18 trophies for that club
He's the greatest player in their history.
by far. Maybe, and he's
Well,
definitely
Aguero.
no KDB, and he's probably one of the most decorated, and he's going to be in one of the all-time Premiership
He's one of
11s.
the. I agree. You're right. Okay, he's one of
Yeah.
the all-time.
What do you guys think about Nico O'Reilly?
The guy that.
You know what? He played well, but it just looked like no one wanted to play. No one wanted to play.
I think he's good. It's just he plays as left back, but he's classified as a midfielder. I think if he was defender, his value would be very high.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I agree.
I also think, I think their City's tricky because there's Kusanov's there, Gvardiol's there. I think he's just one of those young guys that you just don't know what's really going to come of him. But he's looked good and that he's sent a few good balls in that no one found. And I think in the previous game, last week or midweek, I saw him play and was pretty impressed too. So
It seems like a good one for the future.
yeah. I also thought it was interesting just how pissed off all the former United players that are pundits are now about this game. They just felt like it was just so soft.
I fucking love it.
What did Roy Keane called it? The Manchester United. It's like they called it like a friendly. He said it felt like a friendly out there.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Did you know Roy Keane's a Spurs fan? Growing
Really?
up? Yeah, he
Growing
was
up, maybe.
growing up, he was a Spurs fan.
No wonder he has so much pent up anger.
Hey, we were good when he was young.
Man, it must have been a long time ago.
Fuck
Yeah.
I
you.
didn't realize Roy
All right.
Keane is that old.
Fuck off. Let's move to the next one. You fucking bastard.
All right, Leicester 0, Newcastle 3. Newcastle so hot right now, huh?
They're so hot right now, man. Like seriously, they're the hottest team, and they won the Carabao Cup. They haven't stopped winning. They're gonna go on a run. They could get top 4. They've got 2 games in hand. They can get top 4.
Top 4 is very tight.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't have a lot of faith. Knock on wood, reverse jinx, whatever. But I don't have a lot of faith in Chelsea being there. Villa looks so good. Newcastle looks so good. City's decent. There's a lot of really good teams in that zone. And I think with that Newcastle midfield, Tonali, Joe Ellington, Bruno Guimaraes, that's might be one of the best midfields in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They've been solid. Joe Linton's been key.
That being said, I will say that I felt like every single one of the Leicester goals came down to really just not just bad defending from Leicester, but every single one of the Newcastle goals. It wasn't just bad defending from Leicester. It was a lack of effort defending. It was not getting in front of your guy on the back post is crazy to me for the first goal. And the second goal, not following up a shot.
Uh-huh.
Murphy was the only one that followed up that shot.
Yep.
And the third goal was very similar too, where Harvey Barnes how do they not track that? I don't know.
It's just look. when Van Nistelrooy took over, they were 2 spots above the relegation zone, and ever since he took over, it's just gone downhill from there. Don't get
That's
wrong.
not fair.
I think it's kind of fair. They haven't scored. They haven't
s-
scored in like 8 games.
Thank you. Like the other guy, the guy
Steve
always,
Cooper.
who looked depressed all the time. At least he kept their friggin' morale up.
I mean, he was good. Steve Cooper brought Nottingham Forest up to the Premier League.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so I mean, I think they were better off sticking with him, to be honest.
It's not fair in the sense that it wasn't just them playing bad. It's also like Wolves, West Ham, and like the people right outside the relegation zone started playing a lot better. So that's why I don't think it's.
So how is
It's
that?
a combination of 2 things.
It's his fault. You got to score goals. Leicester, honestly, out of all the teams, I thought Leicester would have been one of the ones to try to put up a good fight to stay up, but they're done.
Yeah, I don't think they got the quality.
Yeah. Well, they had to sell their best player because of fucking PSR. So
It is really weird that, like, like Van Nistelrooy took over at United, and when he took over for those like 3 games, that they were like scoring like crazy and they were playing so well, and that's kind of what won him the Leicester job.
Yep.
And then he goes there, and then you just realize you're like, oh wait, sometimes just having good players is
It's easy.
things look a lot easier when you have good players.
Pep
It
Guardiola.
just showed how much they hated Ten Hag.
Oh,
That
shit.
too. Yeah, that really.
Yeah.
So Murphy got a brace, 24 points. Barnes scored a goal. So now he's been pretty viable with Gordon out. I still think that, I mean, Gordon has a hip injury. We'll see how long term that is, but
But they
Yeah,
won't rush him back.
no,
you know
I
what
don't
I mean?
think there's no need to
won't
rush him back. Yeah,
So-
that's a good point. But I think they also have a bit of time before their next game now.
Shut him down.
Shut him
Do
down.
not shut him down.
Shut
He is
him
needed.
down.
Shar, which Tico had this week, got an assist off that in fantasy off that crossbar, and then Livramento, who Tico also had this week, got an assist. So I got double fucked by the Newcastle.
Both of them 21.25 points.
I know.
Like-
They crushed me.
I got proper fucked.
Double clean sheet points.
They
Look
crushed
at him.
me.
Look at him. Fucking smug bastard.
I know it's rough. So what was this? What was the thing? I was up like 14 points going into this game. I had Dan Byrne and you had Shar and Livramento. And then within like a minute and a half of the game starting,
fucking
Livramento
done.
got an assist.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, I don't know why I'm trying to make you feel better of all people. Even if you take away their assist, I would have still won. It's the double clean sheet points.
Shut the fuck up.
It's pretty close. It would have been a lot closer.
It was 14 points, so I would have scored 94. You would have felt worse about like Pinnock. So
True.
you're
True.
welcome.
Yeah, I guess you are right.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to talk about here. There's virtually no one on Leicester that's remotely playable. Newcastle, we've talked about. You pretty much are playing that whole team right now. You read the
Yep.
Lightning there. Next game, Palace 2, Brighton 1. Palace, it was kind of like an unstoppable force versus an unmovable object. They were both kind of in such good form, for the most part. But Palace is just in better form.
Crazy ending to this game.
Yeah.
Crazy ending, but
Yeah, threw out 3 reds in the last few minutes.
15 minutes or so, just fucking
And
nuts.
Kentia subbed on, got 2 yellows in like 10 minutes.
Gueye, he got 2 yellows.
It's-
But Nketiah's one was harsh though. They said he dived. He got clipped.
Yeah.
He got clipped.
But then you can't make that tackle after that. Is
No.
Nketiah the worst signing of the season? I think we're getting to the point. Who would you consider a worse signing than Nketiah? Oh, maybe Xerxes.
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 I
Though,
don't know.
though he does have 3 goals, which is 2 more than Nketiah.
Yeah.
I think Nketiah is the only striker in the league that doesn't have more goals than Hoyland.
I don't know. I think Nketiah's up there. I think for not so much like the price point, but for the amount of money that is the Palace. Like that was a big spend for Palace to pay out for that, and for him to not contribute virtually nothing to me is like it's pretty bad.
This is like a silver lining for some fantasy owners because Nketiah got red carded and so did Gueye. So that double game weeks sort of hurt you if you owned any of those players. However, for those other players that they play in the same position, they're almost nearly guaranteed to play both games.
So you're saying like the Mateta owner's stoked?
Mateta owner
He
stoked.
got a goal, but now he's going to start both games. They can't really do anything else.
No,
there.
they have to. And then Gueye, I don't know, was it LaCroix? He's definitely going to play both games. You know what I mean? Though they are playing, was it Man City and...
Yeah,
Newcastle.
it's not a nice double game week.
It's not a nice double game week.
I have their goalkeeper. I don't know if I should play him or not.
Yeah, you should play him.
I think maybe you should actually. That's the type of one you might play. Just 'cause he's gonna get a lot of action. I wouldn't guarantee clean
Saves,
sheets.
yeah. And we saw City can't score without Haaland.
Yeah.
Other than that, Munez, one of my favorite defenders, got 18 points. He's looked so good. Eze, 22 points. He had 2 assists. Though
I thought he had no assists.
He had 2 assists. He assisted both the goals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then Brighton. I think this is the second game in a row now. I know they were kind of hot. This is what 2 games in a row now where they've been a little lackluster.
Yeah, Welbeck's a stud, man.
Yeah, I mean he's still the guy, but we talk about it's like he's the type of. I was kind of what I was thinking about is with Evan Nielsen doing really well. I don't think we're going to talk about Bournemouth, but Evan Nielsen had 2 goals that were very like fox in a box, just like poach goals.
24.5 points.
Who else is kind of like that, like pure poacher? You know, there's not many players like that anymore.
Not that many anymore.
No, I mean, I was kind of thinking like, does Welbeck qualify in that way? But he's a little more.
No.
He gets involved with play, right?
He comes in deep.
It's a lost art.
It
like
really is.
Haaland's literally just a poacher 2.0. Like he doesn't grab the ball from deep.
He's like the greatest poacher of all time.
Yeah, like he just
he's like the Michael Jordan of poachers.
like he uses any part of his body to poach a goal in the box.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, Pep ruined that guy, man. I remember in Dortmund, he was a different player.
Just don't. It's too late.
Yeah.
He's at Man City now, and
I
he's there
also
for
feel like
10
that's
years.
such like a. I hate that. Pep ruined Holland. Like he literally had one of the highest. He broke the record for the most goals in a
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like when he would like go chase down balls and like.
Let's just go through the route.
That was the Bundesliga in general. That it's such a transitional league. Like he was never going to do that in the Premier League.
You just hate Pep, man. Just leave it alone, bro.
I do hate Pep.
I know you.
Is it because you kind of look like him? Is that why you hate him?
First of all, all of us without hair and with the beard do not look alike.
No, I see it. I do. Keefe, you're right. I fucking see it.
No.
Wait. Just start poking your chest like this, and then look like you're
so going like this on this.
Scratch your face a little bit.
You know what it is? It's you guys think we look alike. It's just what you're mistaken is our brilliant football tactics and moves. Our brain power is what you guys think it's.
I don't think that's what's happening.
No,
definitely.
I don't. No. Sergey, cut that out.
Okay, a couple other key moments here. Delap scores again. That's 12.5 points. That's 2 goals in the last 2 games.
He's at 10 goals.
In a losing battle, gets him to 10 goals. Yep. Wow.
He's going. Where do you think he goes next season?
Well, you sent us a link. You sent us a link saying it's potentially Chelsea, United are the teams that are looking at him.
United, supposedly United would prefer him over freaking Osimhen and Gyökeres. Is that how you say it? They say they prefer him because 1, he's probably cheaper, and 2, he's already done it in the Premier League with a shitty team. So,
and he's younger than both of them too, like significantly younger than both of them. Yeah, I would rather have Delap. Gyökeres is he's like 27, 28, right?
I just don't know if he'll work in the Premier League.
Yeah, but he has played in Europe before. He has played in England before, just in the Championship.
Was it? Who was it for?
In the Championship, I don't remember.
I forget what team it was. Yeah, but it was like
or someone.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
All right.
O'Shea, 17.5 points. I got to be honest. Is he on Southampton?
No, he's on Ipswich.
Oh, okay.
He's on Ipswich. Last 3 games have been still. I think he had 2 double-digit games and a 9.5. Though that 3rd game that I'm talking about was like a month ago, so he's starting to get starts. I guess he had an injury. So it's one to look at. He's only 6% owned.
He's a defender?
He's a defender.
Yeah, I think I want to stay away from bottom 3 defenders, I think, personally.
I don't know.
60% owned, you never know. Next, Evan Nielsen, we talked about. He got a brace, 24.5 points. I think that might be the easiest brace of all time, the goals he got.
Yeah.
But there's a level of, you just got to know when to anticipate. He's just very much anticipated some follow-ups and just poke balls in. And
Yep.
But he does it.
Yep, he does. And he gets there. If he can get the goals and maybe get a couple of penalty assists, he's golden.
Yeah.
Imagine if he becomes a penalty kick taker, then his value will skyrocket.
Oh my God.
Know. Yeah.
Morgan Rogers gets a goal, 20 points with 2 games, 2 assists, and a good. What does it say?
And a goal.
Good job.
Good job.
Tico. Oh, you're missing a comma.
I'm sorry.
And
Are you doing my grammar?
Good job, Tico. Trading like a donkey.
Why is your whole nose taking shots at me? I don't understand this. I won.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm going from the past. You trade it. I wish, could you just look at the point total of all the players you traded this week? I think it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, truly. Because you traded Rodgers for Odegaard, right?
That's 20 points right there. And
Odegaard
then
didn't play.
how much did Diaz? How many points did
He had
Diaz
like
score?
15.5, and Cuckoo had a big fat.
Zero.
No, maybe not a 0, but he did.
Like 0.5.
And Kuko's not on my team. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you had him and you traded him for freaking Odegaard. He's still got more points than Odegaard.
You know, you look at those numbers. I just look at one number, the standings.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Says one next to my name.
From Aston Villa, Malen scored again. That's 2 goals in 2 games now.
Mhm.
13 points, 17% owned.
Strike while the iron's hot, man.
The issue is that he plays like he started this game,
Yeah.
right? But before that, he hadn't really started many
So
games.
here's my idea, right? Aston Villa's still in Champions League. They're in the league. They're still fighting for top 4 because they won that just in case because they're not going to win the Champions League. They're going to rotate. But who are you going to play in the Champions League and who are you going to play in the league?
So-
Rashford and Watkins.
I think the thing too. I see what you're saying. So that they play midweek in Champions League,
Mm-hmm.
and then they play Southampton on the weekend, which is a great game in between 2 Champions League games.
Yep.
So that I totally agree. That's going to be a rotation game. I think Malen could totally get a start against Southampton, and you want to start everything against Southampton.
Yep.
I would start my grandmother in a wheelchair against Southampton.
I would too. I
So-
like that analogy a lot.
I mean, if she's a defender, she gets the clean sheet points too.
Well, not necessarily as Tottenham.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, next up, Sarabia came off the bench to get 26 points. Enzo, you're calling him a glitz in the Matrix?
Yeah, he only ever gets points like once every 3 or 4 months, so it's just a glitch.
I think he was, like, I haven't seen much of him at all.
No, he doesn't really play that often. It's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Is this Reece James, 19.75 points, got a clean sheet. It's interesting they've been really, really careful with him with his muscular injuries and stuff, so it's just
Yeah.
really hard to depend on him.
I know, but just imagine if he was fit. Imagine if he was fit. Be fucking awesome. He'd be scoring week in, week out, like, for damn sure. Too bad the physios at Chelsea don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, hopefully they do now because they haven't been playing him every single freaking game. But, I mean, the last time he started a game, he played 81 minutes and got 2 points. The time before that, he played the full 90 and got 0 points. So and they lost both of those games. So I'm just saying, I'm not like, I don't know. This is a great game. He had, some key passes and he had a few different things, but
To be fair, Nico Jackson wasn't playing those 2 games, so it's hard to score a lot of points when you don't have a striker up there like Nico.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
He's being sarcastic. I know sarcasm. I love sarcasm.
The carrots lie.
Nico Jackson's a great player. I don't know what you're talking about.
Great player.
He's a great volume player, and he gets a lot of shots. If only he scored more, then freaking Palmer's would be higher up on the point list.
You'll see. He's going to be good again next year, and you guys are going to be all
Are you
quiet
even
about
going to try to draft him? Because you never try to draft him. You only just either pick him up or you trade for him.
Because there was a lot of uncertainty. I would have drafted him this year if there was less uncertainty around his his starting position.
Enzo, do you remember who Keefe drafted in the 3rd round?
No, tell me.
And Kuko. Over Nico Jackson, talking about uncertainty.
Well, it's because I watched the preseason, and then Cuckoo and Jackson were crushing it together in preseason.
That's true. You're right. I do remember that.
And I thought that was going to be a shoo-in, but
It's
that
just
was
like
better.
how you thought Rodri was going to be the best player in the league. When you
I didn't
went
think that.
from 50
Rodri 55 is a deal. Rodri was a top 20 player last year. Like, come on, guys. Get with it. Get with the program.
No. You're not going to be able to convince us on this.
ever. We're going to be talking about this next
I
season.
wish that he wouldn't have gotten injured, so I could have just laughed in your guys' face.
Ifs and buts and coconuts.
I'd be in first by a lot if Rodri didn't get injured.
No, you wouldn't.
That would.
You know what? He might be.
He wouldn't.
He might be.
Okay, Adisa Gueye, or is Gueye, right? From
Gueye.
Everton.
Mm-hmm.
12.5 points, 40% owned, 4 double-digit games in his last 6. But what are the other games?
I think it's
are not
a
good.
2.5 and a 6.7, 6.5,
Okay. I
I believe. So they're not great, but the 4 double-digit games, that's a good ratio.
Yeah. 12-6, 12-11, 1-10. Okay. That's not bad. There's something going on there.
If you need a midfielder, we were talking about it last week, like, and you got someone that's not doing shit, or you have Christie like me, and he's out for the season. You can pick him up.
Is that who you think you're going to go for?
I've already gone for players, and I've put more enough out that you guys can't get them.
You're a week too late, buddy.
Yeah, fuck it.
Finally.
Well, I'm playing Keefe next week, so that's an important game. So I need to win, and I need to have a good amount of players on my fucking team.
I picture Enzo just like if he knows he could get a player for like 20 fab, he just like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna put 40 fab. Like those rich people just splurging money left and right.
You know what's funny? I did. I looked at everyone's fab. I was like, I don't need all this. I'm just gonna make it fucking.
Bruh, I had put 10 fab points to pick up the Livermento. But then after the episode, I'm like, no, Enzo might put like 15. Let me just max out all my fab. I put 20. So now I'm at 0. You didn't even put like 5 fab on it.
But you know what, though, Tico? It's probably worth it to get that win against me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, definitely. No regrets.
Yeah, fully.
And he's also like, he's going to get a start every game.
He's going to play.
And you're going to get
right now.
You're going to get a double game week with him next week or in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Which is like not a guaranteed win, but it's like you have 2 Newcastle defenders. But you're almost just counteracting Isak with that.
Pretty much, because
you playing against the guy that Isak.
Yeah, and then I could also
wait. No, I'm playing Keefe with a double game week.
You don't have Isak though.
No, but I'm saying I'm playing.
Tom has Isak.
Yeah, but I'm saying I play this week coming is the double game week.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with you and Keefe? We're talking about Isak.
I'm playing Keefe next week, and he's talking about you having a double game week against. Oh
yeah,
wait, no,
next week
sorry.
against Tom against Isak.
Sorry.
You good? Can we move on? All right.
Yeah, we can move on. Sorry, my bad.
It happens.
Okay, so next, another name on here, kind of interesting. Ian Maatsen. I thought he looked really good. Villa plays midweek. Right? You guys are wrinkling your noses. I just think that there's a chance that Digne plays in Champions League.
I feel like
Maatsen plays again.
But I feel like this is you trying to just like get us to pick another player. The same player at the beginning of the season that you said was going to start tricked me into drafting him, you bastard, and then he didn't start.
No, that's what's going to happen 100%. During Champions League, Maatsen's going to start, and then opposite. I'm sorry. Digne is going to start, and then EPL. But that's one more match we could get, which is next weekend.
Yeah, but it's also against Southampton.
Mm.
There you go. Yeah. So
I think there's something there. And Villa's is so freaking good right now. I even think their backups are going to score a lot of points. The other one on here, we're kind of in waivers now, by the way. I don't know if I announced it. The other one on here is Ryan Sessegnon. We talked about him, 2% owned. We just thought that potential to have a defender that's playing in an attacking midfield role is just crazy good for fantasy. It's just a question of if he's going to start more games.
Yeah, the upside's too big to even like pass up.
Yeah, I think it's worth kind of taking a peek at.
Yeah.
Another name on here is Trevor Chalobah, 41% owned. He's had a few solid outings. Chelsea's looked a lot more defensively solid in the last few games. We'll see if that lasts, but they have.
They're also playing Ipswich.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say. And so it's a good matchup too. So, well, is it a good matchup? I mean, they'll have scored the last few games, but yeah, there's something there.
Yeah.
I think it's just if you're desperate. And the last one on here was actually kind of a sneaky one. Is Toddy Gomez from Wolves. Do you guys want me to read his numbers to you? So they're not spectacular. I'm going to read his last 6 games. Okay, 13.75, 14.25, 8.75, 7.25, 7.25, 16.
They're solid.
It's very solid.
How many clean sheets are we talking about in that span?
1, 2.
That's good.
That's for that team. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they play Tottenham next.
I think that's going to be we're going to see a few goals in that game.
Yeah, well, definitely against Tottenham we will, because fucking Wolves go flying down there.
You know who's back?
Gueye.
See, my guy.
Yeah, but he's rusty, so he ain't gonna score. And Romero's gonna take his fucking legs.
He played in Brazil, and for Brazil.
Look, Romero always goes harder on Brazilian players. He hates them.
Well, because they're racist.
Well, no, it's just that rivalry.
Argentinians are racist.
The Argentinians are racist.
Why are you isolating our fans?
I don't know if all Argentinians are racist, but that's definitely a cliche.
Fine, they're not, but they have the tendencies of a racist person.
Okay.
No comment.
No comment. Can we move on to the game weeks next week?
Next week, we're looking at round 32.
Uh-huh.
Questions for you. Manchester City, Crystal Palace. Who do you think wins that game?
Manchester City.
I think Crystal Palace wins.
What?
Yeah. They've been so good. Crystal Palace has been the hottest team in the league recently. Look at their last few games.
No, I hear
Win, draw, win.
Didn't they just lose?
No, they just beat Brighton.
That's right.
City, to me, not that impressive.
They're also missing players, though. Palace is
missing
missing.
players?
Yeah, I was going to say they're missing Gueye. That's key for them in the centre back.
And Ketia.
Okay, and Kedia's like, that's not...
Yeah, that doesn't matter, but Gueye does.
Gueye, okay, that's a factor. But I still think Crystal Palace has a pretty good chance here.
And Brighton, Leicester, that's a shit show.
Where's the game?
Brighton should win that.
The Palace game is at the Etihad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's not like that stadium is known for its vibrant crowd. So.
No, and also plays Brentford away. Brentford's away, so that could be interesting too.
Yeah, Brentford's been really good away the second half of the season.
Mm-hmm. They could put a more
That
of
could
a
be
downer.
problematic.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is the Embuemo tryout.
The game,
You think Embuemo's going to go somewhere, right?
No, he hasn't gone anywhere. Who's going to pick him up?
I think a lot of people are looking at Embuemo now.
I feel like there's certain players that play for teams that just there's rumors, but they never get picked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Morgan Gibbs White at Forest.
Morgan's White at Forest, or you go back in the day like Matt Letitia, Gamps Pedersen. He never left.
Blackburn.
You know what I mean? Blackburn back in the day.
Love that team.
Yeah, me too. There's just some players that just stick. Like Dwight McNeil. I don't ever see him leaving Everton.
I don't think he'd be good anywhere else. He's like one of those guys that's like uniquely good for Sean Dyche Everton.
But that's
I don't
what
even
I'm
know
saying.
if he'd be good in the David Moyes Everton.
But that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like these are players that you just don't. They don't work anywhere else. They work in that team, and they're just a soldier. You know what I mean?
Southampton, Aston Villa. I think you just start every single Aston Villa player you can get your hands on.
Oh hell yeah!
That's the general consensus.
Clean sheet galore.
Nottingham Forest, Everton is interesting. It's two teams that really don't want to expose themselves.
Yeah, and it's whoever attacks first is gonna lose.
I think this is like potential of 0-0. Like if I was betting on this game, I would bet the under on the goals.
Yeah.
Who did Nottingham Forest play recently? Was it Man United that sat back and they were both sitting back, and then Nottingham Forest was able to do that run and just destroy him with Elanga. Was that the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the game. That's what happened in that game. And then they scored early against United, and then just sat back where come at us, bro, and United just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Chelsea, Ipswich. I think you like your Chelsea pieces that you have, right?
Yeah, you have to.
And then you're starting to lap.
Yeah, you're starting to lap just in case.
And Ciso is probably not as much as viable. He's kind of let me down a little bit.
Not against this midfield.
Liverpool, West Ham. West Ham has not been that great.
No, Liverpool should get back to winning ways in this week. They should. So start all your little players. Salah's going to score. Bing, bam, boom.
Are we expecting a huge game from Mo Salah?
Expecting a huge game from Mo Salah this game. He needs to.
He's due for one.
If he wants that contract.
He's getting that contract.
Yeah, he's getting that contract. They say Van Dijk's going to re-sign too, so that's 2 out of 3 they got.
Yeah. It's the two. I would have rather had Trent than I would have had. Actually, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's hard to ever think about letting Mo Salah go.
Yeah, you go with the younger player. You want to keep Trent.
You want to keep Trent, but yeah. But I mean, what else is going on this week?
Dude, Newcastle, Man United. Newcastle's at home. I think they're gonna fucking whoop on Man United. Like whoop.
I don't think so. I think United does better against good teams, and I think Newcastle. They think Newcastle's a good team.
All right.
So I think it'll be a tougher game than a whoop, but I still think Newcastle United will win.
It is the first game for the double game week for Newcastle, so they're going to be fresher and probably, obviously fresher. So I would expect them to. I think Newcastle's going to win.
How do you play the double game week? So on a team like Newcastle, where they're the thing about Newcastle is most of their players are like owned. You know what I mean? Like it's not like So I mean, maybe like Tonali, you someone that you might just play, thinking that you can get 2 weeks out of him.
Well, I got Guimarães and Murphy. I'm playing both of those motherfuckers.
Well, yeah, those two always Murphy starts all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna start. Guimaraes is gonna start, so those are no brainers. The defense, the back four is gonna be the same for both games. Pope, obviously, goalkeeper, who's been amazing the whole year. And who I spent a bunch of fab on, kept dropping him because they kept postponing his return. And also Isak, obviously you play Isak both with no worries, because even if, let's say, Isak only ends up playing for one game for whatever reason, that one game is worth it. It's fucking
1,000%.
Isak.
I think that's everyone. I think there's no one that's bad enough that you wouldn't think about starting them. Like every single player on that team should be started.
Yeah. Now Crystal Palace, now that's a different question.
But I think that has more to do with the fact that the matchups are tougher.
Yeah, City and Newcastle, obviously.
Yeah. I think there's definitely a lot of I think that's the trap more is Palace, like getting caught up in a Palace double game week.
I agree.
You know?
And
then the last game of the week is Fulham Bournemouth.
You know what? I don't even know. Like Fulham should win this game, or it should be a draw. The way Bournemouth is playing.
Yeah, they've struggled a little bit.
No, Bournemouth's they haven't won in the last 5. Just 2 ties.
They've been struggling.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think, man, Fulham is also close to top 5, top 4.
Are they?
There's 48 points, and Chelsea at 4th place are sitting at 53. And I think they play Chelsea next week, so
should be interesting.
I mean, they're technically closer to 4th place than I am to Tico in the league.
I need
I'm 6 points back.
We need Thomas to win this week, and Keefe, we both have to win. Preferably just me win. I don't care about you, really. As long as...
Well, you said we both need to win. You guys play each other.
Yeah, and
how's that even possible? Are you rooting for a tie?
Oh, fuck that. No, I want to win. I need Sergey to lose, because he's on my ass right now, and he's catching up in points. Need that motherfucker.
Oh, 40 points, yeah.
Yeah, he's right on my ass. Like, luckily, Onana lost, so perfect. I need Mr. T to beat you, though.
There's no single team that's like on a long winning streak. Just Sergey, two matches, so it's been pretty even.
Yeah, going back and forth.
Yeah.
Been inconsistent at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's tight though. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's funny though because the thing I love about the Premier League is that there's always something to root for. Like this year, like the title is wrapped up. The bottom, the relegation's kind of wrapped up.
Oh, relegation's wrapped up.
It's wrapped up, but the top 4, the top 5 is like so tight.
Well, especially
so
now. Especially now with it being top 5 most probably. You know what I mean? That's going to make it more interesting. But Tottenham could try, put a wrench in there and win the Europa, and they get Champions League.
That's true.
So and we all know Andrew wins something.
In his second year.
Always.
I always win something in my second year, mate. That was my Australian accent. It was pretty bad. Sorry. Apologise.
It's all right.
Anything else we want to cover? Is that it, guys?
I think that's it.
This has been episode 83 of Draft Offsides. My name's Keefe. I'm with Vincenzo. Follow us at Draft Offsides on all the things. We'll see you next week.